is you. Now, repeat after me. I love my life. I love my body. I love myself. Yeah, yeah. And I love making 10 grand a day. Welcome to the SHAFT Show. Now, the biggest killer in the West right now is yourselves. Suicide is on the rise more than ever before, more disconnection than we've ever felt. And it's rising due to the lack of real intimacy and connection. Now, the mission of the SHAFT Show is to help as many people as possible overcome suicidal thoughts. If I could change one person's inner monologue from I hate myself to I love myself, then I get to change one person's life. And I've done that with the help of this platform. So join the SHAFT Show in real life and online, and let's make this world healthier, wealthier, sexier, and sober. So make sure you subscribe, and make sure you press that like and turn on notifications, because I'm here every day to serve you the collective consciousness rise into the next stage of humanity. The way I'm doing that is with the SHAFT method. If we are in a simulation and life is a computer game, then the ultimate aim of a game is for you to become yourself. And I've created a whole platform of educational content on tantrawithshaft.com. Check it out on the list below, and there you will find different levels of awakening that you could go through to help yourself, empower yourself, and find more health, wealth, and abundance in a sober, sexy, conscious way. Now, in today's episode, we are talking about, are you addicted to suffering? Let's dive into the intriguing concept of existential kink and explore whether you might be addicted to suffering. Now, suffering is a default setting for us. Hang on, let me get some London Nootropics Mojo adaptogenic coffee with cordyceps and ginseng before I begin. Now, let's take a little delicious sip of this beautiful mushroom adaptogenic coffee. If you're a young entrepreneur, then you want to get yourself one of these. It helps you, and you're allowed to have 1 or 2 servings a day. It doesn't matter. It helps. You can sleep on it as well. It's fantastic. So, I mean, if you want to know more about this coffee, there's a link below. So, existential kink. Have you ever heard of the term existential kink, and what does it mean to you? How do you think recognizing a hidden enjoyment of suffering can impact your personal growth? Now, these are posing questions. How does a concept of being addicted to suffering manifest in your life? Are you noticing the same patterns over and over again? What are some signs that someone might be addicted to their own suffering? For example, do you find yourself repeating the same negative patterns despite wanting to change? Can you think of situations where you might unconsciously create or cling to suffering? I could answer that straight off the bat. I was once addicted to depression. I was clinically depressed. I had suicidal depression. I don't anymore. I'm super fine. I'm actually happy now. On my journey, at the age of 8, I tried to kill myself. And then at the age of 24, I tried to kill myself again when my ex-fiancée at the time, left me. She had sex with my best friend. It sucked. That became my pattern. So I was suffered to depression through terrible relationships where I not only lost my girlfriend, I lost my best friend, I lost my community, and I would have to start over again. So I didn't trust anyone. And this pattern was something that kept on repeating itself for 20 years. I was addicted to the past. I was addicted to not only the good times, but the bad times. And that became my story. I'm ironically a relationship expert, and I do help millionaires find love. But that's my niche. And the systems and things I developed comes from that. But it's only since I let go of my addiction to the past that I was able to be present and trust again and open up my heart so I could connect to other people. Where are you finding these repeating patterns? I was addicted to the past. I was addicted to the drama. I was addicted to the suffering because I had an existential kink around it. Because I would go around telling my suffering stories to get the love and sympathy and attention that mummy didn't give me. That's why I used to do it. Also, I was addicted to the existential kink, the presence and the attention I got from the stories I would tell. And it was almost like a warm, cozy blanket I would put over myself called depression, where I'd go into a cave for many, many, many years and wallow in self-pity. Yes, clinical depression comes from different chemicals in your brains, but you can actually change the chemicals in your brain through Tantra, self-love practices. So here's some more posing questions for everybody. Huda is saying W, hi there. What do experts and psychologists say about the idea of addicted to suffering? Have any of you read the book Existential Kink? What psychological spiritual insights have you found helping you understand your own patterns? What I love about being self-aware, especially hyper self-aware like myself, is you do have an incredible pattern recognition system. Come back to that in a minute. But I'm going to give you some posing questions. You can write these down if you like. How do you think acknowledging these patterns can lead to transformation? What actionable steps can listeners, you guys, take to address your addiction to suffering? What practical steps can someone take to break free from the cycle of suffering? Are you ready to explore and embrace your shadow side to transform your suffering? What small steps can you take today to start shifting your relationship with suffering? Now, let me tell you my journey around my addiction to suffering. Now, I mentioned I was depressed. Yesterday, this coffee is delicious, by the way. Mojo, love it. I'm in London. I have a cold, I have eczema, all my pain and suffering has come back. This is why I'm not in London. I'm addicted. I'm not addicted to this, but this is my story that I go through over and over again every time I'm in London. It's a very visceral story because I don't have a home. The irony of my life is I'm a tantric sex guru who isn't having sex. I'm rich as fuck. All my money is in investments, stocks, shares, and Bitcoin. So I have no cash flow coming in. I have a beautiful big home in Tottenham. I'm a landlord. I'm a landowner in Guatemala. I'm in London and I'm homeless because I refuse to pay the rent. That is outrageously expensive. I refuse to pay anything more than a certain amount because I get to live in luxury apartments, condos, and villas for the same amount. So I would use social media to connect with other people and stay on their sofas. So I don't have a safe space for myself to do my tantric sadhanas. So I'm a landlord and I'm a homeless. Paradox. It's basically I'm showing you what is my truth and what is my truth. I'm addicted to these stories. These are my stories. This is my reality. Have you ever heard of Abraham Hicks and the vortex? I'm creating my own vortex. Yesterday, I got rejected from going to Annabelle's because a private members club in the West End because I didn't have a blazer. I had everything else apart from a blazer. Everyone else was in there celebrating my friend's birthday and I couldn't get in. Then I got rejected from Torture Gardens. All my friends were in there having sex and I couldn't get in there because the woman at the door is someone who I actually had sex with 10 years ago. She refused to let me in. And I decided to do the Existential Kink meditation. So I listened to it. I'm going through a lot of pain, a lot of suffering, a lot of inner struggle. But this is the simulation, the matrix of me coming into this reality. Your environment really dictates how you feel. And I don't feel safe in London. Only since I got sober. So I was walking the streets running the existential kink meditation in my body. And I asked myself, and you could all do this as well, is there a part of you that is addicted to suffering? Is there a part of you that gets a kink out of this? Then I realized that there was. I'm causing all of this. I want you to take this on board. You are the director, writer, editor, especially the editor, and the main star of your own movie. This is why I have the SHAFT Show, where the star of the show is you. I'm inspiring you to become more you. Now, what I saw was, I am sick all the time because, and by the way, just by saying that affirmation, I'm going to become sick all the time now. That's how powerful these words are. But these words only come into fruition in this reality of London, because this is how I have been, and that's why I've been away for 10 years. So I've also realized, as a young boy, I was sick all the time, because that's the only time I got the love and affection of mummy. Mummy loved me and cared for me more when I was ill. So I would be ill all the time, subconsciously. I didn't know what I was doing. I was smaller than all the other ones. I'm a middle child, so I starve of affection. All of the middle children watching, please put a comment below saying mummy loves me, because mummy did always love you and does always love you. But we got addicted to substances because mummy didn't love us. I know every single middle child I have met is an addict of some sort, or hyper successful, super successful, because they wanted the attention of mummy. I got attention from mummy from being sick. So I've got 3 herniated discs now, and this terrible hay fever cold thing, and my eczema's come back, and a giant growth on my back. It's terrible. It's just like non-stop now. All of a sudden that's happened. Now the thing is, do we get addicted to that suffering, or do we transmute that suffering? Existential kink talks about getting a kink from it, accepting it and saying, ooh, pain, give me some more pain. Mummy loves me anyway. I'll just take as much pain as I can. And just not being attached to it, knowing where your patterns, behaviors are coming from, stepping outside of your story that is your life, and noticing that, for me, I'm sick because it used to get attention from mummy and daddy. That's the only time they gave me attention. That's the only time I felt love. Also, another side note, I complain a lot. My whole business, my YouTube channel has come from me complaining. So I get world fame from complaining. So again, I get attention, love, and affection because of my suffering. Because all I talk about in my on my social medias is how little sex I've had or how much sex I've had. It's changing a little bit now, but that's essentially all I did, complaining. But now I'm giving more value. I'm giving you tools, I'm giving you online courses. Check out tantrashaft.com or the links below, where you can learn from my mistakes. You could evolve quicker using the tools that I've developed. I spent £100,000 easily on my therapy, on my awakening, embodied tantric practices, and I'm always learning something new. If I heard about existential kink a couple of years ago, I wouldn't believe in it because I'm not a kink person. But I'm not rock bottom now. I'm just, all this is just a nuisance. Because I know as soon as I fly out to the next gig with the SHAFT Show, all this will just vanish. This is just me in London, addicted to the same story over and over again. So there is some addiction to that. There is some kink, some love, some affection and adoration and help I get from being addicted to my suffering. Does any of this sound familiar? There's a lot of people watching. I can see there's a lot of people watching, more than usual. I want to know how you are, how you really are. I want to know the color of your heart. Everybody watching, put in the comments below, what is the color of your heart today? Mine is a green. That is actually the color of the Anahata chakra. Another self-realization point yesterday when I was walking the streets of London by myself in pain and suffering was I needed to transmute that pain. So I came home and I did a mindful masturbation practice where I would feel this contraction in my body, expand the contraction so much that it would go beyond the contraction and expand into pleasure. Then I would self-pleasure, and I practiced a thing called semen retention. I did a seed releasing ritual to let go of this trauma from my body, this cycle of addiction, and turned it into an existential kink. And today, I wake up feeling so much better. I feel so much lighter. I'm able to talk about it to you guys. Like, there's an addiction to my suffering because it's my marketing material. That's what happens when you become a coach. You work through all of this so I could help you as much as I can. The human condition is suffering, but also pleasure. I've been an expert in suffering. I just didn't know how to transmute it into pleasure. We've got Amanda Blank saying, yes, it does sound familiar. Was just laying awake thinking of this. Color of my heart is green. Amanda Blank, thank you so much for speaking to me online. I super appreciate everybody that makes a comment. And I want you all to know you're not alone in your suffering. That's also a form of existential kink. This is why a lot of people come together and complain and bitch and moan. Now, I have developed a thing called conscious complaining. There's 3 stages to it. Number 1, you complain. Everyone's stuck on level 1. Number 2, you find a lesson from the complaining. And number 3, you ask for help. So what does that look like? For me, every time I'm in London, I can't find a girlfriend, a venue, or a home. It's really, really tough here. I can't handle London. I need to leave. Complaining, running away. Number 2, but I feel that there might be a test here. Because legally, I can't stay anywhere else in the world and I need to come back to London. And I feel that if I ground here and work through this struggle and find a place to settle down, I think I might actually be able to accelerate my business, my health, wealth, and abundance, and build a sexy, sober, juicy, wealthy community. Do you know anyone? Number 3. Complain. Level 1. The lessons learned. Level 2. Asking for help. Level 3. The 3 stages to conscious complaining. Now, I'm going to leave you with that. If you're addicted to your suffering, at least do conscious complaining. Understanding and embracing the concept of existential kink can lead to a profound personal transformation and liberation from unconscious suffering. So for more insights and transformative practices, make sure you follow the SHAFT Show. And remember, the star of a show is you. I give you permission to be more of yourself. You've been listening to a beautiful podcast by SHAFT Uddin. Let's change lives together, one positive thought at a time. And I want to say a big thank you to London Nootropics for giving me this beautiful boost during this beautiful podcast. And a big thanks to our sponsors. If we are living in the simulation, the ultimate aim of the game is for you to be yourself. Now, there has been extensive research done on this online course platform called tantrawithshaft.com. There are different levels to your awakening, and there is a vast library of courses that you too can experience today. So make sure you click on tantrawithshaft.com and get yourself on the online course program. It's a beautiful way to discover yourself. So if you found value in this, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe today. Let's build the SHAFT Show community online and in real life and become healthier, wealthier, sexier, and sober. Mwah.